Okay, welcome back to Honesty Talk. We're bracing ourselves because this is a topic that will, I'm sure, ruffle a few feathers. We are talking about intimacy. First question that comes to mind, Layinka, Sumaya, is intimacy simply, solely the right of a man? And we're obviously taking that within the Muslim kind of sphere, the Islamic sphere. Is intimacy the sole right of a Muslim man?
Short answer, no.
Elaborate.
Intimacy is something that Allah has blessed for a man and a woman in the matrimonial home to enjoy. And that's the truth. A woman has the right to be satisfied within in her intimate affairs with her husband. She has the right to be satisfied, just as the husband also has the right to be satisfied. So the thought that it's only for men, this is actually perpetuated in many circles, cultures, that it's just a man's right. The woman's job when it comes to intimacy is just procreation. She can procreate and he gets the fulfillment. But actually, no, procreation is just the result of intimacy. But the actual act is one that Allah has gifted as something that a man and a woman can both equally enjoy.
It's interesting because when I asked that question, we're talking about the sexual relationship, yes, right? But is intimacy restricted only to that? Or are there other factors that come into play here as well?
Many other factors.
Such as?
So it's having a connection with someone. And it's not limited to the context of marriage either. You can have an intimate conversation with a friend. I think it's a depth of connection that is found, that comes with the closeness. And we use it synonymously with the physical aspect of it, but there is having deep conversations, being able to be open with each other, being able to be honest, being able to talk about hard things and know that both are coming from a place of love. All of these things, I think, fall under the umbrella of intimacy.
And affect the physical, intimate
the quality of
it. The quality, certainly does. Coming back to it being a right, I'm hearing a lot of sisters saying they feel that they are not connected with their husbands in the bedroom because they feel that it's a duty. They feel pressurized to fulfill the duty towards him. And so they're coming from the viewpoint that, physical intimacy is his right. They are there to supply whenever he wants.
Comes with that hadith though.
It
That's
comes
what's thrown at sisters. You cannot say no to your husband. The angels will
curse you.
And that is thrown at sisters by men, and it's thrown at sisters by sisters as well. Like, who do you think you are? He wants it, give it to him, kind of thing. But what about me? And you know what you were saying about intimacy be more than just the physical act. Even you can find couples who will not have any kind of physical touch, and yet you're supposed to connect in the bedroom when you don't hold hands, you don't hug, you don't actually give each other a kiss, but she's supposed to deliver in the bedroom, like there are so many
There's
things.
a disconnect.
Like there is an
Yeah.
absolute disconnect. So yes, the physical aspect there, but there is so much more that you can that goes into that before that. You know, even sisters will be like, so I'm supposed to just provide, but there's nothing that happens before the actual act. And so she doesn't enjoy it. She feels like, but then there is no talk about that because shyness. I think us coming today to talk about this in such an open platform, there will be many things that will be said about it. Let's be real though, sisters are suffering.
Yeah.
Some sisters are suffering.
Let me tell you, a sister contacted me a couple of years ago, and she contacted me in a professional manner. She wanted help, and she said, you know, I've been married for this many years, and I've never been satisfied. My husband has never satisfied me. And I came to a point where I was wondering whether there's something wrong with me. You know, he's not attentive to my needs. I have never actually experienced an orgasm. That's what she said. Wow. And she came to me, and it was so difficult for her to even say that because she was incredibly embarrassed. And she said, I have no one else to speak to about this, so I've come to you. What do I do? Now, obviously I felt for her, but I thought to myself, what is going on in this marriage that she has in all of these years? And she said that they are intimate regularly, that he's never satisfied her needs. She went to the doctor, everything was, you know, fine. And, you know, digging deeper, she said that, you know, he was quite selfish when it came to, you know, them spending time together. It was all about him. And he needed to get his thing very, very quickly. So he didn't, pay attention to her body, to what she likes, etc., etc.
My question,
yeah.
Does she know herself?
Does she know herself?
Has she spoken to him? Because many sisters who complain, they are dissatisfied, but they don't talk to their husbands about it. They don't tell them what they like. They don't say, let's explore, because there's a shyness about it. Because if you start telling your man what you like, where are you getting this from? What are you reading? Yeah. What are you watching? Who are you talking to?
Yeah. And what is wrong with reading about it? Haya is in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, haya is with your Lord. Haya is in the public realm, but in the bedroom, darling, there is no haya.
Right, but
this is a time when Allah has allowed for the haya to go out of the window.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So where are we getting this from?
Cultural.
Because it's all culture. It's
and
culture.
Also that they're unwilling. So because of this shame around owning like your needs as a woman, there's shame around it and there's labels attached to it. Are you loose, or you're not proper, or you weren't raised with manners that you go down that road. And then if I think that owning that is shameful and bad and it's not befitting, so I shouldn't even be expressing that this is something that's an issue or that I want. I should just kind of stand down and bear whatever is coming my way.
I think this level of, you know, this shame to talk about it is more prevalent in certain cultures.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna share something that's gonna really be something. Oh yeah. So there is a sister, I won't say who she is, but she was giving a talk to a large group of sisters. It was like a conference, and she said, and she's an advocate, that sisters, you need to take ownership of your own personal sexual satisfaction. Okay, you need to know your body, like you said. You need to know what does it for you, and you need to be very, very clear to your man that this is what you want. And in this conference, she said, she said, we need to take ownership at that level, and we need to tell, and this is what she's saying to the sisters, we need to tell our man that, once we have been satisfied, that we're not done yet. And I will never forget, I was in the audience, I looked around me, and the sisters were like, falling apart. Now the thing is, sexual satisfaction is a part of our human nature.
Yes.
Okay? And it's a part of our deen to the extent that it is spoken about in the Quran and the Sunnah. Why are we as Muslim women allowing ourselves to not have our rights, you know, and as women to not even share our opinions, our advice with other women so that we can enjoy that part of our life?
Because we're not taught of it as a right for a woman. So when we're told about marriage, dress up for your husband, smell nice.
For your husband.
Yes, dress up for him, because, you know, that leads to the bedroom, and make sure, you know, you're available for him. So in the context of marriage and intimacy, we find that it's always taught within the context of a man's satisfaction. So where are the lectures? Where are the talks? Where's the advice to the brothers? Brothers, you need to because we know it's all out there for the sisters. So now it's time for sisters, like you said, to actually take ownership and start talking about it. Maybe like, and I'm not saying X-rated business, you know, there's no need to be talking about what you're doing, what you're getting up to, because that's not what the deen does. There's a line we draw, but actually advice. Sisters are like need advice. What advice would we give? Not to the extent of dress up for him, make sure you but actually for yourself. How does one get to know their body, for instance?
You know, and this is important, and I think, you know, when our daughters, you know, when young Muslim women are getting married, there needs to be an honest chat. A lot of women don't even know
what they're getting
their
into.
Anatomy. They don't know.
I'll go further and say that we need to be teaching our boys. We need to be teaching our boys about the female anatomy, because some boys don't even know. They don't even know. They don't even know what. That's a what? Educate them, because they're going to go and get married and they need to be able to satisfy their women.
That's right.
So it's our responsibility to teach them that this is a woman's body, this is how it functions, and it's your responsibility to keep her satisfied. Because what happens, again, it's that thing, when a man is dissatisfied with his woman and her performance in the bedroom, he just goes and gets another one. A woman does not have that privilege, right? So she is in a situation where she's with a man and she's
stuck.
Right.
Stuck and unsatisfied. Absolutely. So we're talking about educating the next generation, that, you know, we educate the woman, the young woman, about her body, that this is something that is perfectly acceptable for her to want to be satisfied, get to know her own body, what she likes, and articulate that to her husband.
Yes.
And we're also talking about educating our young men to know how to please a woman.
Know how to please a woman, and to recognize that that is her right to be pleased. And that just because you're done, it doesn't mean that it's over.
Yes.
Okay, cool, alhamdulillah, go make wudu like we've been advised, and make sure she's satisfied. Because she will be left feeling deflated and defeated, and like an object.
Yeah, and for a woman, it's actually very, very for a woman to perform to her best, she needs that level of emotional connection, right? And men fail to understand that. They just think, you know what, if I smell nice, if I'm touching her this way and doing all of this, that she'll be fine, she'll be pleased. But actually, when a woman is emotionally connected in the bedroom, she performs better, and it's more enjoyable.
I remember years ago we had this conversation, and there was an analogy of going shopping. Remember?
I don't remember the analogy. I remember.
So the analogy is, when a man goes shopping, he knows what he wants. He goes in and gets it. When a woman goes shopping, she has a brow. She takes longer to get the goods, right? And it's similar to that, like in the bedroom. But men have yet to be educated on, actually, you can be done very, very quickly, but a woman takes time, and it requires you to put the effort.
Long before you enter the bedroom.
Right.
Long before you enter the bedroom. And women are very easy. All you need to say to her, all you need to do is get your phone, send a WhatsApp message. No, I'm serious. We are suckers for this stuff, right? You're beautiful. I can't wait to
starts
see you.
blushing.
Plus, she's starting to melt already. This happens long before the bedroom, right? But also, I think for us as women, it's about us preparing ourselves too. And I think when you come to your man thinking, oh God, not again, he wants it again.
It's the thinking.
Right? But when you think, you know what, he wants it, man, I want it too.
To be
and you
honest.
approach it in that way, that you're going in there to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Right? As well as him, because it's not just about taking what you want. It's about, yeah, I want to make him happy, but man, I want to make myself happy too. My gosh, that's when the fireworks.
There are also some sisters who have a higher sex drive than their husband.
True.
And they're also dissatisfied. Because they're like,
They're not keeping up.
bro. And the husband's like, me, I'm tired.
It's okay. I'll calm down. So I think we need to talk about getting rid of the shame.
Yes.
So how does she get to the point where she's going into it not feeling like it's drudgery and an act of service?
Yes.
You know, to
Those that are already married?
Yeah, so the one who has the belief that this is something that she must do and it's a task.
Do you know what? Like I said, it starts before the bedroom. You take a bath to feel good yourself. You dress up because, girl, when you dress up and you look at yourself in the mirror, you feel good about yourself.
But she has to
right?
be there first.
No, but this is what
herself.
I'm saying. It's all about, and this might come across as selfish, but it's not.
I think we need a part 2. Do you know why? Because there's so much. Because there are some sisters who don't even feel comfortable, confident. They don't
With
believe
their
in
body.
themselves. And there was a
Right.
whole. We need to talk about this.
Yeah, but going back to what I was saying, it's about her. You're asking, how does she move away from this is his duty?
Yeah.
It's about her taking care of herself. It's about her taking care of herself and doing these things for herself, going shopping for herself to make herself feel good, and then changing her intention that, you know what, I'm going into this to connect with him. I'm not going into this to just fulfill his rights and to get the job done. I'm going into this because I want to enjoy myself. Honestly, if you have that approach, you're going to enjoy yourself.
And to take the shame away from it, like as seeing, because it is such a dark, it's put up over there as a scary, dark, shameful topic to talk about. Seeing it, as you were saying, as like a basic human thing that all human beings have. You know, this is something that's it's like food. I think of it like food.
Okay.
It's like food. Human beings get hungry. And when they're hungry, they eat. We don't make a big to-do about it.
No, we don't.
But some people do.
I like that too.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Because some people have complex relationships with food.
What's on the menu tonight?
Yeah, so you guys, stop. Some people have a tough relationship with food. So you can say like, oh, well, if you're just hungry, eat. But some people are unable to eat because they have a difficult relationship with food, or they have, you know, psychological issues around food.
Changing the relationship with
the concept itself.
It's changing your mindset
Yeah,
surrounding
you have to.
it. And as Muslim women, if we were to change our mindset that this is just as much as it's his right, it's my right, and it's about the coming together,
And
not
there's
the
nothing
just
wrong.
I need to
I
just.
think it's the
you know?
mindset and the meaning. What meaning have we attached to intimacy? What does it mean? Redefining what intimacy means. If it's a chore, it's a chore, and it's going to be a chore. You're going to feel like it's a chore, and it's going to come at you like it's a chore. But if it's a moment of connection, if it's a moment of enjoyment, if you give it that meaning, the way you will see it, the run up to it, the things that you do and don't do for yourself will be in that frame.
You know what's coming to mind? And this is going to make a few people feel uncomfortable, but I'm going to bring it because it's honesty talk. We're talking about intimacy. Really what we're talking about here is sex. And even just the mere mention of the word makes people feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
Right? So if we're uncomfortable by using that term, what have we associated with it? And sometimes it's the association that it's dirty.
It's dirty. It's for flimsy, loose. There's so much mess connected with the word sex. And it's something that we should hide away from. Don't talk about it. Don't even, nothing.
You know what's interesting, and I said I was going to mention this, is when Asma radiallahu anha came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was sitting with the companions, and And she came to him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and she asked him about a sexual matter. Look at that.
In front of all the men.
In front of all of the men. Now, I think it goes back to, like I said, you know, she was able to do that. We are unable to even mention the word sex, and it's because of the negative connotations surrounding it. I mean, we said that we were going to talk about pornography, you know, at some point, because it's a huge thing within the Muslim community, huge, and it's affecting marriages. Sisters feel unable, they feel even dirty. I've heard sisters say that my husband makes me feel dirty. You know,
because of sex,
because of his addiction to pornography, and you know how he's making her feel about sex. You know, so I think we need to change the meaning surrounding sex and intimacy, and we need to make sure we do that obviously with ourselves, you know, in our own marriages, but also educate the next generation so they see it as something that is permissible, enjoyable, halal, rewardable, and actually a means of Allah's pleasure. Right?
Yes.
You know, we need to change our definition.
Yes.
I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the distinction that you made at the end about it being something that can be an act of worship. It is halal, and you know, any human desire across the board, you have the opportunity to channel it in a way that's pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and a way that's outside the context that we're taught in our faith. And so talking about intimacy within the context of marriage, it really, this is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to handle this God-given human desire. So there's no shame in handling it through that way. This is an act of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it doesn't need to be smeared with all the other stuff. It's unnecessary.
You know, there's a scholar, and I'm trying to sit here and remember his name. What I might do is put it in the description once I do. And he wrote volumes of books about how to please your wife.
In what language?
In Arabic. This is a scholar from the past. Books about how to please her. Now, if that is a scholar, okay, we are laymen, right? A scholar who is doing that, what is wrong with us? You know, where have we got this? I really think it's from a culture that is mixed with other than Islam, because this is not from Islam. This is not from Islam. You know, maybe this is from you know, like I said, other religions, but really and truly it's something that I feel should be spoken about respectfully, honestly, openly, but with respect, in order for marriages to survive, because a lot of marriages are not surviving because the woman feels under pressure, you know, she isn't satisfied, or the man is satisfied and she isn't, or even sometimes she is and he isn't, or there's just sexless marriages, you know. So it's a topic that really does need to be spoken about, and I think we need to change our mental attitude towards it in order for marriages to thrive. Because let's face it, a marriage cannot survive without that level of intimacy.
I think it can survive, but it will not thrive. You can go, there can be people who will be in marriages
just carry on, but they're not connected, they're not intimate, they are, like we said, maybe staying for the kids, or they're just comfortable as things are. They've dropped all expectations, so they can survive, but that's not a thriving marriage. And one thing that came to me when you were talking was that you're saying that within the context of the marriage, we need to get over it and be able to address this because it's a real issue. And I think that especially for the people who feel really finicky about this, if you're watching this and you're preparing yourself to start to kind of moan about the fact that this is being addressed, I just want to kindly turn your focus to the flip side. So when we have marriages and situations where we are so deep in the shame and we can't talk about it, we can't communicate the need, what happens as a result of that is that these needs are sought outside of the marriage in many ways.
Please give me your
Wa alaikum assalam. In many ways, and the damage that comes from that is huge.
Yeah.
It's exponential.
Right.
if you weigh it against talking and communicating and getting over the taboo aspect of it, you're losing so much. Is it worth waiting for affairs and pain and damage and breaking the home over a matter that could be addressed because we were too touchy about it?
Yes.
Thank you.
There's a line. And people really need to get over themselves on this, unless they want to wait till it's too late and now after the fact we're in damage control.
Yeah.
So let's, you know, I think it's important that we're adults about it. Let's not act like we're 12. I don't want to see comments about why are we talking about this and that. If you're not at a position where you feel this is helpful to you, then leave it alone. But there are people out there who need this, and this is for them.
Thank you. That was definitely your final comment. Mashallah, you hit it. Layinka, over to you. Final comment.
Oh gosh, final comment. Go get it.
Really?
It's yours to get. Get it. Like Allah has deemed that you can be happy in the bedroom, that you can get your satisfaction. Girl, go get it. Within your marriage, obviously we're talking about, like, don't get it outside, but go for it.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay. I think my final thoughts on this is that, as I said right at the beginning, it will ruffle a few feathers. It is a part of our human nature. It's a part of our deen. And I think it's an important topic that needs to be discussed, because at the end of the day, we want our ummah to thrive. And in order for our ummah to thrive, we need marriages to thrive. And in order for marriages to thrive, the bedroom department needs to be thriving. And that isn't just the husband saying, this is what I want and this is what I need. This is you two acknowledging your needs too.
Yes.
So I know, and I'm pretty sure the comments section on the Facebook page is going to be flooded with different opinions. Please do so respectfully. And thank you for joining us, and we look forward to speaking again next episode, inshallah.